Right, we're talking comedy now. Comedy double act Hill and Jones are bringing their sketch comedy show to the Arden Theatre in Faversham for one last performance for their current tour. Now, we have spoken to these guys before, and that was their final performance, but they are extending their tour for one night only and coming back to Faversham. Described as an evening of comfort comedy, which I think sounds absolutely perfect, particularly when it's chucking it down. So I am joined by the boys now, Ryan Hill, Ben Jones. Ryan and Ben, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
No worries.
Thank you. Hi. Well, listen, thank you for coming on. I hope it's not too windy where you are.
It is really windy where I am, yeah.
Yeah, it is blowing a hoolie. I don't know what that actually means, but I know that it means that it's strong winds. So I hope that you've got heavy shoes, not putting any sort of umbrella up, or a gazebo this afternoon. That's not what you need. So, listen, tell us about how you came to be together. I've got here serious comic Ryan Hill and lovable idiot Ben. Ben, is that an insult, or you're all right with that?
I'm okay with that. In fact, it's actually great fun. I mean, the way our show works is it's sort of a sketch show goes wrong. So, Ryan and I have our characters that we play throughout the show, Ben and Ryan, me being the idiot and Ryan being the serious comic. And within it, those characters are doing sketches within the show. But a bit like the play that goes wrong, things consistently go wrong, and usually because of me.
Well, good that you're admitting it, We love that sort of comedy, don't we? I mean, it's that thing where you in the best sort of way, you don't want to watch, but you can't look away.
That's right. I think everyone loves watching someone else in pain, and Ryan spends most of his time on stage in pain, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan, can it be difficult sometimes? I mean, obviously it's all part of the act and you do love each other really. Hopefully you have a handshake at the end of each show.
We always have a cuddle after the show.
Oh, good.
Always,
that's
always
good.
Always have a cuddle, yeah.
So, right, tell us about how we've got here, because I know that we spoke to you a few weeks ago and you were just gearing up for your final show, but it obviously went so well that you're coming back.
Yeah, that show was, we both agreed, was the best show we've done.
Amazing.
And we finished it and it was all over and we thought, you know what, we both still want to do another one. We're writing for another tour that will be in the autumn of this year. But we both loved that venue anyway, and because it went so well and all the new little things we added, because we both like to, with a week to go, let's add something else. And everything we added just went so well that, we thought, why not one more?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose because when you've been doing a tour and you've got this material, and when you're sort of not all improvising, obviously, but you're making things up as well each night, seeing what's working, what's not working, it must actually be really hard to then shelve that material and not do it anymore. Yeah,
that's the one thing that we struggle with is the way the show works now is so well that when we come to do our next tour, it's like, okay, so what bit should we take out? Because we seem to like it all. There's nothing in there that we go, that one could go.
Yeah.
And because every night's different, I mean, I know that Ben, his main objective is he wants to make me laugh on stage, and it's the same for me. It's what I want to do. So we'll plan something on our head and go, right, I'm going to get him on this one.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of it anyway. If it's too, I always say, if it's too wooden, you've got to enjoy it yourself.
Yeah.
And this is by far the most fun I have on a stage I've ever had. With Ben.
That's great. And Ben, it is that thing, isn't it, where I know, like in our lives, when you've got that one friend who's really funny, there's nothing feels better than when you make that friend laugh, and it's really, you feel so good about yourself, don't you?
Absolutely, and Ryan is supremely funny all the time, and so it's great. It's a great joy for the fact that I can make him laugh. It shocks me sometimes, so I don't always think I'm that funny, but I seem to be able to make him laugh, and that seems to translate on stage as well with the audience. So,
yeah, absolutely. And audiences have been absolutely loving it. I mean, it is a style of comedy that we all really relate to, don't we? Because it's so real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, with the world being so serious at the moment and very serious things going on, I think people need some light relief, need some comfort comedy. And what we try to do is, we write our own material, but we also adapt ideas or concepts of a sketch that perhaps a famous group have done, like the two Ronnies or Rowan Atkinson or Fry and Laurie. And it's quite nice when the audience sometimes get those references. It's fine if they don't, it works without. But it's I think it's nice to have something that you don't have to think too hard about when you go to the theatre. So.
Well, that's nice because actually we do, as you say, sometimes it can be a very heavy world, can't it? And nice to be able to, mentally go, I can have a little bit of a rest here and just enjoy what I'm seeing.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what you want. And tell me about this new show then. So you were able to pencil it in again at the Arden Theatre in Faversham.
Yeah, that's right. So as Ryan said, it went so well on the 1st of July, and it's such a great venue. I don't know how well you know it, Sophie, the Arden Theatre, but it's a community-run theatre for the community, run by fabulous people. It's a 98-seater venue, and it's both sort of intimate but got great facilities, and the audiences there are lovely. And we just felt like we weren't quite ready to let this show go. So that's where this one has sort of come about. But it really is the final show of this.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because, what happens after this one when you go, do you know what? I don't know if I can say goodbye. You got attachment issues, you two.
No, he's I've seen enough of him now. I need a bit of a break.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was going to ask you, you obviously spend a huge amount of time together. How did you first come together and decide to create this double act?
When we first come together, we were on a very low-budget spy film.
Wow.
Really, really low budget. I actually found some footage of the first time I met Ben, and even then we had this chemistry that I was like, this is weird. I don't even know this guy, but we get on really well.
Wow.
And then I wrote a short film about a serious comedian who goes back to his village to help his lovable idiot of a friend put on a show that goes wrong.
Amazing.
And this is this is the characters putting on this show almost. It's almost like a live version of this film we did.
That's very cool.
But yeah, we sort of stayed in contact all the way through this film we did. And now, a bit like Ant and Dec, we see each other all the time. So, we'll go to the cinema. We went to cinema on Monday together. It's that sort of thing. It's not just a show friendship, if you will. It's everything.
Well, that's the thing, because you can tell, can't you? You can tell when people are friends on stage or on camera, and then when they leave, they don't see each other again until the next show.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. We aspire to get to that point, successful enough that we start to hate each other, but we haven't quite got there yet. So.
You can dream, boys, you can dream. Now, I really am quite interested in the low-budget spy film. Did it have a name?
It did have a name. It was called...
I hope it's
not rude. What was it called, Ben?
Jason Phillips, Balance of Power. Is what
that was it, Balance of Power.
It sounds good.
Ryan was the lead in it, to be fair. He was Jason Phillips, and I was his foil within MI6.
Well, listen, that sounds great. I'm all up for that. I mean, a low-budget spy film, because what you need in a spy film is a low budget, isn't it, really?
I mean, it really wasn't what we thought. I thought I was signing up to be this Tom Cruise action star, and it really didn't work out. I decided I can't do action. I kept getting told to stop putting faces, so I just stayed with the comedy.
You never know. When you do reach the dizzying heights of hating each other, maybe it'll be time for the sequel, and, the budget will be slightly higher. It'll be great.
I hope not.
So tell us where we can find out more about the show, where we can get our tickets.
Yeah, I can jump in. Yeah, sure. So you can get tickets and find more information on the Arden Theatre website, but also on our Hill and Jones Comedy Facebook page and also our Instagram page. All of it's Hill and Jones Comedy, so quite easy to find us. But probably the simplest way is just pop onto the Arden Theatre website, and it's all there, as well as the other shows that they're putting on, which are also quite fabulous before and after hours. So.
Brilliant. Oh, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And we've been talking on the show this afternoon about, because it was Sports Day yesterday, Friday. It seemed like every school was doing Sports Day. Have you got an excellent sporting achievement? Mine, don't want to brag, I was the Swim Achiever of the Year, 1999, at Tenterden Leisure Centre. So, just wondering if you both have got an excellent sporting achievement that you've got.
Oh, under pressure.
I'll put you on the spot there.
We both played county tennis, didn't we, as juniors, Ryan? I know that. We didn't know that when we were juniors, obviously. But I played in a small county called Bedfordshire, and he played for Kent, so he was a bit bigger than I was.
Well, hey, you two are pretty big time then. I didn't realise I was talking to two athletes this afternoon, to be honest, but that's good.
That was a long time ago.
I was going to say it was, and if you could see us, our sweat dripping off us literally within the first half an hour of our show, you wouldn't think we were athletes.
Oh, well, listen, stick to the comedy then. But maybe if the spy film doesn't work out afterwards, then the tennis is always something to fall back on. Thank you so much for joining us there, Ryan and Ben. Hill and Jones Comedy Double Act. Their show is coming to the Arden Theatre in Faversham. Find all you need on their website there. If you've got a sporting achievement that can be better than Ryan and Ben's, you can get in touch with us this afternoon. 81333. Start your message with the word Kent. We can text